All right, welcome to this week's episode of Adventures of Alcaraz. My name is Julian Alcaraz.
And I'm Miranda Alcaraz.
And we are on week 28 through 29.
Yes.
I feel great. I feel energized. I feel like I'm on like some MCT oils right now.
Good. It's really good.
A lot of brain fuel.
That's really
I
good.
don't feel like a yawn coming on. And if I do,
I might yawn today.
I apologize. If you yawn, then I'm definitely yawning. Because it's
I think
contagious.
I have more reasons to yawn, though.
It's not. I'm not arguing with you. I think it's.
Okay.
It would give me a reason to just cool, contagious
Just let
yawn.
it go.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So this week has been very full.
I feel like we say that every single time.
Yeah, because it just
Right?
is every single time. Actually, it's almost sad.
Yeah, it is.
Makes me just.
We got the house renovations. They're going real deep. Like yesterday, I went home to grab something in the middle of the day. Normally, we leave at like 10 in the morning or by 10 in the morning, and then we don't go back there at all till like 4 o'clock. So who knows what goes on in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But yesterday, I went home to grab something in the middle of the day. There were 5 trucks, like 2 in our driveway, 2 right by the street, and one kind of like halfway in our driveway, but not really. And I was like, oh my gosh. I went in there. There was like 2 table saws going. There were people upstairs, people downstairs, like holes in walls that I didn't even know were part of this whole thing. And it was nuts. And it's been like that a lot more. It's getting really aggressive in there right now.
It's like completely being stripped.
There was like 10 people in there.
Yeah, it's wild. They're all like kind of just collabing and working together and flowing as one.
It used to be 2 people. Now it's like 10.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then like this morning I'm like upstairs with Knox, like still like, coming alive for the day and in my PJs and everything. And one of the guys just yells up like, "Hey, Miranda, you were walking Chongo." He was like, "We're going to turn the water off." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, is it cool if we turn the water off? It's like 8 a.m. I was like, can you wait till Knox isn't here anymore? Really, it's because I had not brushed my teeth. Mm-hmm. I have to pee like every 20 minutes, and we had people coming over to work out. I was like, I need at least 2 more pee times before they turn the water off. I need to wash my face, like do my makeup for the day, all of it before they, yeah. I'm still right now wearing what I wore when we were working out earlier.
Yeah.
I don't even have a shirt on under this. It's just a sports bra. Because we also have had laundry. The laundry pile is really aggressive right now.
It's aggressive. Thank goodness for the extra clothes we are able to get, which is good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
But MCI market, that sounds like maybe a call I should have taken soon.
Telemarketer, though, actually.
From Vancouver. Anyway, I'll call them back. It's been a good week, though. I feel like a couple things. We had an appointment to go to Knox's 2-year, 6-month checkup, which was rough because Knox, as soon as we pulled up, immediately knew where we were at.
You said, okay, we're going to go see the doctor now. And he
just
knew what that meant the moment you said. Like, he was fine in the car until you said that.
Yeah, because obviously he associates doctor now with getting vaccines. Oh, no, yeah, we get vaccines. But it's just rough, like he has
screaming.
good memory. He was crying the whole time, and it was a rough experience. Even though they didn't have to give him anything, they were just checking up on him.
No shots.
No shots. He was just
screaming.
Like it was painful. And then he was fine the minute they stopped. But that was always sad for sure. It was just like a reminder of when we take baby B over to his pediatrician and how those painful memories for sure. And then that same day we ended up going, and this was like you did your blood glucose test at the midwifery now.
Yeah, so we had Knox's doctor appointment in the morning, and then some meetings in between, and then my appointment at the midwifery for the glucose tolerance test.
Mm-hmm.
That, and then they were testing the blood or the iron in my blood to make sure I didn't have like anemia or anything like that. So, yeah.
How'd you feel about that visit this time around?
So I tried to get out of it, kind of.
Yeah.
I tried to get out of drinking the super sugary 50 grams of sugar drink because it's like so far from what I would normally do to my body.
Mm-hmm.
our doula suggested that maybe I would be allowed to eat like a certain number of jelly beans that are a certain brand. She's heard of that before. Or that I might be able to drink like a naked juice. I called them and asked them about that, and they turned both of those options down.
Yeah.
And so unless I could show proof that I had a corn allergy. So it was like straight up corn syrup that I was drinking. It's so gross.
Yep. Because you said it tasted syrupy.
It was it was thicker than water for sure. Yeah, it was really gross. And you have to drink it all within 5 minutes. And yeah, so we took the blood test and I got the results the next day. I wasn't so concerned about having gestational diabetes this time. Last time I was terrified, but that's just because you're terrified of everything on your first pregnancy.
Yeah.
And it was all good.
Yeah, good test. You found out I know this is probably going to go in the pregnancy vlog, but I thought it was kind of worth mentioning how the information you found out. Because given the fact that this was the week of the blood glucose test, you did a little bit of digging and then you found out that how the hormones end up really jacking up your insulin, which is what they are checking for.
Yeah, they just want to see what your insulin sensitivity levels are or if you're starting to become insulin resistant, which 90% of people don't know what that means at all.
Yeah.
And what I think is dumb is that once they diagnose you with gestational diabetes, they will tell you all these rules and all these foods you shouldn't be eating and all this stuff. What I think might be nice is for them just to tell you that in advance so that you don't get it in the first place.
Like early on, and be like, hey, this is something.
Because all the stuff that you were eating that maybe contributed, I don't want to say caused because there's more than one cause. It's not just from what you're eating, but contributed could have maybe been prevented for some people if they would have given them this information before they had the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did research it because I know a lot just from our education about the hormone response, about how insulin works in the body and how its job is to lower blood sugar and how when you eat, regardless of what you eat, there'll be some level of a blood sugar elevation. And if you eat something that's really high in like refined carbohydrates and sugar, it's going to be a much faster spike and a lot bigger spike versus like a more well-balanced meal or things like that. So I know all of that about just everyone's body.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what is it that happens during pregnancy? Because gestational diabetes is way more common than type 2 diabetes. Like it happens in like, I want to say like 1 out of, this could be totally wrong, but like 1 out of every like
it happens often.
10 pregnancies or 5 pregnancies or something like, yeah. So, and those people go on after their pregnancy to not be diabetic. So what is it that's causing this, right? Yeah. It can't just be that we all just eat so many sweets when we're pregnant. It's got to be something else. So I looked into it, I read about it, and basically the placenta, which is what's in charge of building this baby and giving all the nutrients to the baby and everything, it overrides your body's normal insulin system and response. Because ideally for the baby, you would have as much of the nutrients from your food in your blood for as long as possible so that as many of them get to the baby as possible, and that includes blood sugar. So the placenta releases a hormone that counteracts insulin. Dang. And basically is like, no, we don't want to lower the blood sugar. We want to keep it high so the baby gets more of these nutrients. And then so the insulin's like, no, my job is to lower the blood sugar so it secretes more. And it's like this like little battle that's going on. Yeah. Which I read by the second or third trimester, you can have 2 to 3 times the level of your body might have to secrete 2 to 3 times your normal insulin to lower your blood sugar. And if you're not producing enough insulin, then your blood sugar is just going to stay high. And that's where you can have the problems with gestational diabetes.
That's why it's so important to, the more and more I hope people are becoming aware. It is so extremely important that you realize, and again, I hate kind of bringing this up because it's like a journey that women go through. But, what you eat is what you're giving your baby. That's something that has been withstood the test of time. That's how you're fueling babies. So that obviously the better choices that you can make, you're already like, setting the foundation for how baby's going to come out when it comes to many situations, right? And given this situation, we even talked about how even cleaned up our eating and had less, would I say fatty foods? I wouldn't say
we just
fatty.
eat out a lot
like
less.
we eat out a lot less now and been cooking more at home. And we talked about how you haven't been really experiencing inflammation like in your feet, or you used to have in the last pregnancy with Knox, your wrist had like
a really bad carpal tunnel
syndrome, and now none of that has hit you. And I'm very curious to see, in the remaining this trimester, if that's even going to be something that comes up. And it's just going to be another, because the only thing that's changed is now we just eat more at home and we eat out very, very little.
Yeah, I just find it interesting because I've read what are in all the articles that I was reading to try to learn about how this happens or what's going on, they say what the risk factors are. And obviously, just like with type 2 diabetes, it's not as simple as just what you eat versus what you, there are other things, but a lot of it could be genetic or, the suggestions are exercise and don't eat a lot of sugar. But I feel like the doctors don't tell you any of that until after you've been diagnosed with it instead of leading with it. Or if you were already somewhat insulin resistant before you got pregnant, which could be someone who's overweight. It could be someone who's not overweight and just doesn't have the best diet and health habits.
I'm going to flat out say, I think what's happening nowadays in this...
I'm nervous about what he's
No,
about to
I'm just going to keep it very simple. But I think what happens is, you're getting these doctors that are telling you, and the way they deliver the message, it's just very reading it off a paper. Okay, you're pregnant. Make sure that you eat this. Here's a little packet. Here you go.
Yeah,
this
they
is
did
what you
give
eat.
us the packet.
And that's it. It's so people feel so lost still. It's you leave it up to the person. And again, this is that great. There's two sides of that coin where it's of course, we are our own individuals. We should be responsible for our own situation. But when people have learned to kind of rely and trust on doctors, and then when the doctors that are delivering this message, it's not very personalized. It's very just make sure you're watching this. Because so many people are afraid now to doctors are almost afraid of being sued or whatever. Whatever's going on now, there's a weird system that's happening. And now, and then these
they have scripts. It's a script that they're not allowed to go off of.
And then what's interesting is these doctors themselves that are giving you this nutrition advice need the nutrition advice themselves.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sad. It's just an interesting loop. So people leave the doctors feeling extremely confused still, leading to the situation where now there's even more rise in gestational diabetes happening.
They know how to treat it. But the prevention is not, the helping with prevention is not where it needs to be.
Anyway, we'll kind of tone off of that topic a little bit.
Anyway, but yeah, all of this stuff, just go, if you're worried about developing gestational diabetes, go read what they would have you do if you were diagnosed with it and just do that before you get it.
Yeah.
And you might still have some issues with it because, again, there are other factors, but if you want to set yourself up for the most likely success.
And in life.
Sure.
I'm just throwing that out there. It's not just for pregnancy. It's in general. But anyway, at any point, if anybody listens to this, keep in mind these are things that we'd love to help you guys out. If you guys want to reach out to us or something, we love helping out as much as possible based off of the information that we have. But it's just becoming a big issue. But I'm glad that everything went well. Things are going really good this week as far as that goes. The glucose test.
I've been so I was working out this week, the other day, 2 days ago, and you weren't working out. So you were just watching us work out. Mm-hmm. And afterwards, what did you say? I
said, this is the first time, it was almost as if your belly was forming to get to the point of oh man, she's pregnant. And now it's the mold has been set. You have the belly bump mold. It's boom. I was wow, you are, oh yeah, you're pregnant. Because you were still at a position beforehand where you could almost based on the clothes you were wearing, you could hide it.
Yeah.
But now it's people can look at you right immediately and say oh, you're so pregnant. You're at the stage of, can I feel your baby belly bump? It's creep.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was just cool seeing that. And then baby B's been going wild in there, whatever he's doing. I was able to kind of feel his head at this midwifery appointment, which was kind of cool. So these are the stages for me where it gets very real. I know we feel him more often every time I put my hand on. I know I'm going to feel him as opposed to keep your hand there. Let's see if it's.
Even if he's not moving, you can find some random body part.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of the Braxton Hicks contractions still.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it, like, I remember this with Knox too. It like tightens around him and you can almost like see the formation of his body while it's tightening. And it doesn't hurt or anything. Last night he was actually hurting me when he was moving. He was like jumping on, I don't know what, but like it was like so, I was like, okay, buddy, like chill. Yeah.
Things have been going good, as well as like I know you've been like really prepping for your nesting as well. I know you had your appointment at City Home, which you went wild at. But all good things though, because the deal that they cut with us was really cool. They're very supportive, but seeing all this stuff come along, knowing that you've been enjoying also getting the stuff needed to put you in the best environment this time around is awesome. It's because last time we weren't in the same position, so that's
no. Our home was much smaller. Knox had like a really good nursery that we didn't even end up using at all until like he was like 3 months old.
Yeah.
Except for to change his diaper. That's like the only time we went in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has like been fun to do the home renovation. It's like the ultimate nesting and stuff. And yeah, it's been good. I've started thinking about like how, like when we come home, because we're going to Disneyland next week. I was just telling you, when we come home, I'm going to be 30 weeks pregnant. Like this is getting close to like single digit weeks left.
Yeah, it is.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. That's exciting though.
Yeah.
But I would say that's a bit, I covered a lot this week.
Yeah.
It's been a good week, no matter how things have been going stressful wise as far as the home remodel goes, but things have been going great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll check in with you guys next week. Week 29 through 30.
Yeah, we'll be
Disneyland.
filming from Southern California.
Yes. Awesome. All right, guys. We will check in soon.
Bye.